Hi guys, welcome to this incredible modern mid-century loft up in the sky. If you love eclectic mid-century design and great hi-fi, you will absolutely love this home, so let's dive right in. Now let's go and take a look at this absolutely incredible 255 square meter masterpiece penthouse loft. It is super cool. If you're new to this channel, my name is Jane and I'm an interior designer, and on Interior Insights we show you the most incredible homes all over Europe and the world, so subscribe if you haven't yet. Now, as soon as you walk into this home, you see that you just have this vast expansion of space, and the owner Max built this entire house around 20 years ago. We are located in the south of Germany, close to Ravensburg, basically in the middle of nowhere. And in every direction you look, you will see incredible green views of the German fields, and it is super cool. Now we've already passed the open hallway that kind of visually divides the loft into two areas. And over here we already have the dining area, my favorite part of the entire home. Please follow me. And what I think is so unique about the dining room area is that we just have this incredible light coming in. Both from this side, a full-on glass facade that starts right at the floor. You know what I think is really crazy? My YouTube analytics are showing me that over 70% who are watching our videos every single week are not subscribed. And so it would really mean the world to me if you could double check if you've subscribed or not. And if you haven't, subscribe to our channel, because that is the easiest way that is completely free for you to support this channel, and so that I can continue to show you all of these incredible homes. And you almost kind of feel like you're floating, or like you might or could fall off. And all of the clean, almost brutalist lines of the architecture, so raw concrete, glass, steel, stone, are paired with these modern, warm, mid-century furniture items. I'm absolutely in love with it. And this is one of the reasons why mid-century design never goes out of style, because you always have this juxtaposition of these industrial, harsh and raw materials paired with more tactile and domestic materials such as leather, wood, or fabric. And here it works really well. Now the focal point within this dining room is definitely this gorgeous ball chair by Terrace. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a space-age design and it is super iconic. And I love that the owner Max also really drew the inspiration from the home he built from these round, unique angles, and just repeated this round and circular geometry throughout the room. And this bold red accent really just adds a pop of color throughout the design. And then in all the corners of the loft we have hanging Grundig speakers, which also have this round spheric shape. And my personal favorite about this entire design is this super cool partition wall that is made from hard plastic. And it also has a very circular geometry. And when Max moved in here, he really spent a lot of time sourcing all of the different furniture items and all of the unique pieces. And this one actually used to be a drop-down ceiling from a Sparkasse, a German bank. And he randomly found this drop ceiling on eBay, and he thought, wow, this would just make a great partition wall. So great design often really just is the daring of trying something unexpected and just working with what you have and what opportunities arise. It's time for the color palette analysis of this mid-century loft. Let's go. Now this space feels really calm at the first glance, but actually there's a lot of high contrast and a lot of strong materiality going on that just creates this really cool tension. On the one hand, you've got this raw, cool architectural shell, so concrete, slate, black lines. It almost has kind of a brutalist character. It's very strict, very raw, and very controlled. And then you have all of this material and color contrast. The wood paneling brings in all of this more honey-toned glow. The rug adds this muted, earthy depth. And because of all of these nuances and texture and color, the space suddenly feels grounded instead of cold. And one thing that this loft does really well when it comes to color and material is that it uses all of the primary colors. So the strong, bright, saturated red, a clear blue, a clear yellow. We have all of these primary colors that sit on the color wheel. And so this color palette really is a primary color palette that also follows the triadic color scheme. And this basically just means that the three primary colors are like almost equally spaced and far away from each other on the color wheel. If you want to learn more about color and color palettes, we have ready-made color palettes, including hex codes and a full psychological breakdown just for you. They're perfect if you want to get inspired for your own home and to see just what is possible. And of course, if you want to dive even deeper into the topic of color, we have a full interior design color masterclass. In the center of the dining room, we have a large wooden table accompanied by mid-century chairs that are also upholstered with this black leather. And also, because the space is so large and we have all of these clean, geometric, horizontal lines that go really well with the outside landscape, inside the loft, we have a lot of tactile, more warmer materials. And so the dining table is also zoned by a large carpet. Finally, a carpet that is big enough. Most carpets are too small. And I also really like that we have this juxtaposition of this large red chair over here, and then the really small pop of red over here. And what you can see here really well is that symmetry works sometimes at its best when it's not perfectly duplicated, but when you have a sense of repetition, but in a different size or in a different shape. There's a long, narrow mid-century sideboard, also completely made from wood, and on top of it we also have different compositions. And I really love this composition because it is essentially just a bunch of frames with small artworks placed on top of each other. Or another feature that also counts as symmetry for me is this artwork over here, and then this large skull of an animal. I'm not sure what it's called in English. You can comment it below if you do, up there. And you can see that it isn't perfectly symmetrical, but that the visual weight kind of is equally distributed throughout the design. Over here, we have an outdoor terrace that I'll show you in a second. And now let's go over here into the living room area. Now, because the owner Max is so creative, he always thinks up of new ideas, and originally this building was supposed to be completely floating and almost completely round without any hard corners. But unfortunately in Germany it wasn't possible to do that, and also the building would have collapsed. So instead we have these small anecdotes to his original design. And so here we have this beautiful curved shape of the wall that perfectly goes into the ceiling. And I really like it. Comment if you like it or not. I feel like it really gives this loft its very unmistakable character and almost identity of the entire space. Also very typical for mid-century design is having these large plant pots where you have a lot of wild plants growing. And Max also created one himself just from a large piece of aluminum that he found, and he tilted it to both sides and put a bunch of plants inside them. Another thing that is very typical for this modern mid-century design language is that we have all of these horizontal, vertical lines. And so also the sofa has a low profile, it is sectional, so it basically can react to whatever the space needs. And Max even put the entire sofa on rolls so that you can just roll it around to suit your needs, because there also are photo shoots happening here now and then. And what I think is really interesting, because we are almost in the middle of nowhere and we're surrounded by the green fields, on the outside we have all of these horizontal lines of the landscape. And within the design, all of these horizontal lines are also repeated. So both in the architecture as well as in the furniture. And because the owner also really loves space-age design, we have a black space-age sofa table that just perfectly goes with the low-profile sofa. And to add a pop of color and to bring some more life into this design, we have a strong geometric carpet with strong colors and prints. Over here, we have another little seating area with 2 chairs by Max Eichenberger. They're also mid-century icons, but because they are so cubic, they also really remind me more of the Bauhaus era. And I think that this area over here also serves as a great example for when you want to zone your own space at home, because here we have this wall divider or room partitioner that is just put there, but it still creates a visual dialogue between this area and the one over here because it is see-through. And then over here we have this plant pot with large kind of dry plants that also just visually create their own zone and just kind of seem to like organize and sort the space without having to put like a full-on wall here. It's a great concept that you can definitely also think about on how you can incorporate it into your own home. And another thing I think is really important when we look at the floor plan of this home is that actually behind this wall that is covered in maple wood, we actually have a bunch of different functions hiding. So here, we actually have a small kitchen niche where you can cook yourself something. It is fully functional, but it is very minimal. We actually filmed a second home of Max that is also on this property that also has a similar kitchen that is entirely covered in black. And then when you're done cooking or when you have guests, you can just pull this out and then instantly the entire order is restored within the design. Inside the cube, we also have the bedroom hiding, but we will look at that another time. Now, please follow me to the outside terrace as well as to the office. Okay, pause this video right now and comment on a scale from 1 to 10 how much you love this design and if you would move in an instant. I know I would. Over here we have the office, and it is also one large space, and just this office itself already has something like, I think 48 square meters, which is what like your typical smaller apartment in any bigger German town is. And it is just crazy that we have this abundance of space within the entire home and loft. And one thing to create a successful and consistent design is to have the same materials and to repeat them in different areas within your design. And here it has also been done really well. And that is that we have the same wall divider over here, and I really love it. And we even have a small custom, really cool door shape where we can go through into the office. Over here we have the office. You can see that it is a creative space where there's a lot going on. And having these like open wall dividers that aren't like a full-on wall just creates its intimacy while still maintaining this like dialogue between the sides of the room, and I really like it. I don't understand why people always opt for like full-on blackout walls instead of thinking of more creative solutions like these. Over here we have another meeting area, or a second more informal sofa area, and here we have the incredible sectional sofas by B&B Italia that have been created by Mario Bellini. I'm absolutely in love with this certain fabric. I've never seen it anywhere. Comment if you have. We have actually seen them in another loft that we filmed way back, a Gundlach loft, that you guys also really loved, but never in this fabric. I also always try my best to find all of these furniture items that I can find within the home tours or like artworks or whatever I can find, and I link everything down below, so if you're interested, you can check it out. And I feel like what makes this design so successful is also this dialogue between these like perfect circles off the partitioner wall, and then here these more like 70s irregular, kind of more wobbly circles and shapes. I really like it. Now let me show you the outside terrace. Please follow me. And this is actually really cool because from downstairs, it actually looks like the roof is kind of like hovering above us. And then there just is this like large gap within the house. And here is where we have our integrated little rooftop terrace. And you can see the incredible weather in the south of Germany. I used to live in Hamburg, and there it was like constantly raining. And here we can just enjoy our sun and our view, or our morning coffee. What can you want more? And now let's go and discover the bathroom with a view. Follow me. So over here on the other side, we have a bathroom. It is hiding behind this large door. And also, because this is a loft, it is one open space. We have this like wooden block where we have a few like kind of inbuilt rooms that also really just divide the layout, or a sliding door, but it still definitely counts as a loft. Sometimes some of you say, oh, this is not a loft, but it is. Over here we have the bathroom. It is also one large open space. And what I really love about this, there's actually two things. So the first thing that's super cool is that here we have a full-on mirror that goes from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. And then we have this like massive terrazzo sink that just kind of seems like it's floating because it has actually been inbuilt into the wall. And I wonder why more people don't do this. Over here, we have a sunken in bathtub. And now this is something I also think is really cool, is that here we have the shower, there we have the bathroom where the camera is going inside. And then to the side, we just have this full-on view of the green fields of the south of Germany. And it just feels very serene to wake up and take your shower here. And because the owner Max built this home for himself, he actually oriented the entire building in a way so that when he showers here in the morning, you have the morning sun coming from here. And then in the afternoon, you have the afternoon light shining. I think it is just perfect. Now over here, we have a kids' room hiding, but we will show you that another time. I hope you enjoyed this video. We filmed so many incredible other ones, so go check those out. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.